offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hit. Come back with a vengeance on the next play.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. From the gun, Herbert goes underneath here to White. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on 4th down, on comes the Charger kicker, Michael Badgley. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Badgley able to punch this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. And that'll be incomplete. Royce Freeman, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Broncos send out their punter now. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Don't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Able to get this to Gordon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Operating from the gun, Herbert. It's caught. Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing on first down, Herbert. Got Gordon open, completes it. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the gun on 3rd down, Herbert. And the incompletion there, so that breaks a string of 5 straight hookups. It also leads to a 4th down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been terrific so far. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on it. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And got his man, complete. And all the way down to the 35. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Locke now on first down. Gets it off to Freeman. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will do it for this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to our Tiburon Studios here in Orlando. We'll take a minute and look ahead at what's to come this weekend in week number 3. Good games galore in that Sunday lineup. We'll highlight the one going on in Atlanta. A big one for the Falcons as they get set to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Then in the 4 Eastern window, it'll be a later than usual start in Cleveland, where it'll be the Browns taking on the Oakland Raiders. And then lastly, the nation gets a good one on Monday night between the Philadelphia Eagles and what equates to be a very tough opponent. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden, and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They look to throw. It's locked. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Locke. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are back within a single score. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. To throw on second down. Herbert complete. It's Henry. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. They'll run on first down. Gordon. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Looking to throw on second down. Herbert caught by Jones. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. From the gun, Herbert looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Locke's throw caught by Sutton. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 19. Locke now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Freeman. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. They run it again with Hill, and he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
60 or.
Go. Go.
Now to the air. Lock. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. Now Locke throwing on second down. And he's got it. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Melvin Gordon and the Chargers ready for their next possession. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
I'm going to hit you.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on second and inches. Second down and inches. He completes it to Henry. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. The busy night continues for Gordon as he gets it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be second and 12.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Ready. 90, wolf.
Here we go, D.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. From the gun on 3rd down. Herbert. And caught by Henry. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 29-yard line.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Off play action. Herbert. Well, this is caught by Williams. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Herbert. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Herbert. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, Good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Now Hill.
Not a lot of headway on that carry, but when you're dealing with a defensive line that can cover up your center, sometimes you got to think about getting out of that play. Not going to be a lot of space when that happens.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Broncos on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. Lock going to throw, and that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Let's take it inside his own 40. It's a net of 40 there. A punt of 48 and a return of 8. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? This is Gordon as they go to him again. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. The offense on third down tonight, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They're looking at third and under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Von Miller.
Probably a little bit of a surprise call there on 3rd and inches that they decided to throw the football. And how difficult is that for an offensive line when they look up and see all those extra bodies coming at them?
Tons of bodies coming in. They get a huge sack there. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
Let's go. Do it.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
Go now. 30
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time it's a set.
Well, there's your first ROI, right? Return on investment of their first-round pick. His first NFL sack, I know they want him to be an impact player right out of the gate.
A lot of pressure to put on a young man, but I think you agree he has the ability to deliver on it.
And he just did. Probably the first of many sacks in a long career.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. On 2nd down, it's Hill. He digs them partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
This pass finds its way to Williams. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
Here we go. 18 Gators.
Hey, they're scared.
Five.
On 3rd down, Carr, and able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
Here we go.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and get the first down.
Switch.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle.
50, plant.
Get it, boy.
Ready?
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Gordon. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down at 8.
60 out.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Herbert. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they miss that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go.
And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off the draw, here's Hill. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
60 Pittsburgh.
Throwing his lock on 3rd down. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
Come on, set.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. And they got to go thank the guys on D.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Off the bootleg. Herbert breaks a tackle. And that's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for L.A. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. And he whips that one incomplete there. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And that is incomplete.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Broken tackle. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Carr, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. On third down, Herbert. It's caught. Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check out
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run on first down with Jackson. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Jackson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. On first down, it's Carr. And they'll get this down to the 10. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
right here.
First down, here's White. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. James White, his first touchdown of the new season. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Drew Lock and the Broncos. Down by 10, 1:40 remaining. And they're in danger of a third straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10.
60 outlaw.
Ricky.
Now Lock. Got the connection here to Bourne. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards. This is the tight end fan. And he's brought down after a very nice game. Here's Locke to throw. And with that last play, oh no, he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs.
Mike, 56, right there, 56. Check the outs, check the outs, check the outs. Check 37, check, let's go.
Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee.
Set, ready? 8-3.
Hey. 4 down.
Set, go.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for our visitors, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get a few extra days.